Dear students, so today we will discuss chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 is related to data visualization and its design. So in this chapter, we are going to go for defining pre-attentive attributes, how these pre-attentive attributes are related to color, forms, spatial positioning, moments, and used in the data visualization. And we will also, discuss about a very famous principle which is called Gestalt principles. It was named on the German scientist, talking about similarity, proximity, enclosure, connections, and effective data visualization. And other things we will discuss about, like data ink ratio, how it impacts the visualization. We will also talk about decluttering of the charts, and moreover, we will talk about the font size, which font size is good for visualization on the print media, which is better on the on the projector one. And we will also talk about the common mistakes which we make in the data visualization. Okay, so in this picture you can see as a make-over study, and we can see here that on the right hand side this also gives you information, but on the left hand side it gives you information with the picture. So this is more like, elaborative, and this seems look more elaborated, but if you on the right hand side, if you see, this is more simple. So and the simplicity is more like, liked, and it's improved column chart to compare fast food restaurants. So sometime maybe in the left hand side you cannot get the proper value of that thing or proper estimation, while on the right hand side you can get more proper estimation. Visual perception is for the brain, like how your brain process or interprets the reflection of the light which is entering into your eyes. For example, if the light enters into your eyes, so it gives, like, different colors. It creates different colors because the light is composed of 7 different colors, right? So it, like, it splits the colors and it show you the different colors, and it's also depending on the reflection. For example, if the light is being reflected from the table, it's a brown color, so the brown color will be reflected in your eyes. If the wall is a white color, the white color will reflect in your eyes. If the flower is red, so the red color will be reflected in your eyes. And moreover, there are 3 kinds of memories. One is called iconic memories. Iconic memory is related to that for in 1 second how much information you hold it. For example, if there is some advertisement or some picture, it just comes for 1 second, so how much information you hold it. Short-term memory is like, it's grouped in chunks of information and holds, like, it's how much information you hold for a minute, right? And long term is like, long term memory holds information for more extended time, for more extended period, through repetitions, rehearsal, and storytelling. So if you do repetition, rehearsal, you keep the information for longer time, or maybe it's for years, right? So iconic memory is for 1 second, short term memory is for 1 minute, and long term memory is depending from 1 hour to many years. And there are some pre-attentive attributes and feature processed by iconic memories. So we will see what are these pre-attentive attributes of the iconic memory. So the cognitive load and pre-attentive attributes. So what is the cognitive load? So cognitive load is the effort needed for any user to see accurately and efficiently process the information when it's communicated by data visualization or by the charts. So the proper use of pre-attentive attributes, like, it reduces the cognitive load in a human mind, right? So there are 4 pre-attentive attributes. The first is called color, which color needs to be used; form, which forms to be used; spatial positioning, where is the position; and the movements, right? So these are the 4 pre-attentive attributes. So let's see. The first one is about, like, color, right? Color and forms. So in this one, we change the color. So now 7 was not visualized here, but when we change the color, 7 is more visualized here. Now here the length, we have changed the length. 7 is more visualized. We change the length of the 7. And here is the combinations of these 2 different attributes. Now, the pre-attentive attribute of the color has 3 things. One is called hue, and then it's called saturation and luminance, right? So hue is basically the position of light occupies in a visible light spectrum. It is the basis of the different colors, right? So like a saturation is basically the amount of the grayness in a color, while luminance refers to the amount of black versus white within the color, right? So we will have some different examples on that one. So now look at the size orientation. So orientation means the how it is laying left and right, size of the bubbles you can see, shapes like rectangular shapes, lengths and the widths, right? So these are like, forms. Okay, so we talk about colors, we talk about the forms, we talk about the sizes, right? And the orientation means like, how it is like, lying over there on the different spaces. Like the difference in the orientation of these lines make it easier for audience to perceive that the sales in Europe are increasing at much faster rate than the United States for the 2029 and 2020. So this is related to orientation. So size at pre-attentive attributes of the size, you can see over here the differences. Shapes, like, people group it when it is like, different shapes, like with respect to the color, with respect to the shapes. And like you can see over here, some shapes like because humans are like more easy to like, recognize the length with respect to the angle. So pie chart has an angle, while the bar chart, they have the length attributes. And similarly, like, depending on that how much it is used, like for example, length refers to the horizontal, vertical and diagonal distances of the line bar. Width refers to the thickness of the lines and the column bar, but it is very lessly used. Other are like, the widths also, like, tells you about, like, for example, for humanities, for interdisciplinary, for natural sciences, social sciences and undecided. So it tells there's this called Sankey charts, and it depicts the proportional flow of the entities, like where the width of the line represents the relative flow rate compared to the width of the other lines. There's some more example, you can look at that one. Spatial positioning means like, refers to the location of the object within some defined space. Like most use like spatial positioning in tables, charts into 2D, such as data points in the scatter point. And movements can be categorized into two main attributes. Flicker refers to the effects such as like flashing to draw some attention. Okay, while motions, like, it involves directed movements and can be used to show changes within the visualization. So movement is not possible in most data visualization because tables and charts are static sometimes. So the attribute of spatial positioning. So here maps are like one of the good example for spatial positioning GPSs. Yeah, one of the most important principle, which called Gestalt principle, and it's name of the German scientist, and it categorizes, it refers to the guiding principle of how people interpret and perceive what they see it, right? So these principles generally, like, it describes how people define order or like meaning in the things they have it. So the four principles are their similarity, proximity, enclosure and connection. So let's see what are these principles. So for similarity, you can see like, similar colors, similar shapes, like, we group it according to the shapes and colors. Proximity means like, how they are located. We're in type of clusters and groups. Yeah, like this one as well. Enclosure means like, enclosure area, some compound or enclosure area also give the feelings of the in the same group. A connection, so when points are connected, so you can see these all points are mingled up, but we have connected the points through a line, and the orange line gives you the different forecasting, while the blue lines give you the actual forecasting. Yeah, there is another very important concept which is called data ink ratio. It means that how much ink we used for the data, instead of like, using for other lines and like, other random things. So non-data ink means used to table and chart that serves no useful purpose in conveying the data to the audience. And decluttering is a process to increase the data ink ratio in the chart. For example, sometimes we use the ink, but it is useless, right? And so like the data ratio is like data ink divided by the total ink. So we need to increase the data for ink for the data, not for the like clutter. Like in this one on the right hand side, the ink is used more for the data instead of the lines. Here also you can see some of the tables they use more ink, but it is useless, while others they use less ink and more ink for the data rather than for the design. And also here on the left hand side there is low data ink chart, because the ink is more used on the grid lines, while on the right hand side the data is not used, or the ink is not used for the grid lines. And similarly, so here on the left hand side it is more clutter, while on the right hand side it is less clutter. Text alignment is also very important in the table, because it, like, minimize the eye travel. So the lower the eye travel, the less is the memory cognitive load. So we can minimize the cognitive load like by using pre-attentive attributes, using the Gestalt principle, increase the data ink ratio, and minimize the eye travel. So here you can see on the right hand side the travel is minimized, because we don't look for the lines where it belongs. For district 1 we already know that it is the thicker line is for district 1 and the dotted line is for district 2, right? While on the left hand side it is we need to look down and like connect it, so here there is more eye travel. Yeah, so this one is like on the left hand side, this serif font is used for printing, is good for printed, like, and sans serif fonts is good for projector and data visualizations on the screen. Suggestion for choice of the font and text. These are the different suggestions, like, where to make it bold, italic, and color. Wrong type of visualizations, like sometimes you need to avoid the wrong type of visualizations, which makes more clutter. Like, and on the right hand side, you can see the improved line chart, which makes less use of the ink, and it's uncluttered, while both giving the same, like, meaning. This excessive information, sometimes you display excessive information, so try not to have excessive information. So on the right hand side we have separated, like, the data for the blue and the red, and now we can easily the cognitive load is less over here. Similarly over here, like using Excel default setting for charts, like sometime this is approved column chart comparing annual revenue of the 8 retail location. Too many attributes, sometimes we need to avoid too many attributes like cross, square, and, like, rectangular. So it's better to use, like, single one, either colors or either like shapes. So it's better to use one Gestalt principle. Unnecessary use of 3D. Sometimes you don't need a 3D, so just avoid that one. Just go simple, to keep it simple. This is activity for you today, and I want to check your knowledge. You can just solve these questions. So summarization, this is the summary of that one, that what are the common mistakes you need to avoid, and we talk about the Gestalt principle, we talk about the pre-attentive attributes with respect to the color, forms, and positioning. So thank you very much, and see you in the next chapter.